My name's EJ. We back at it again with another podcast from the Barbershop Talk. I got my man Dave.
Yo, what up, y'all?
And Vince.
What's up, baby? Hey, look, yo, respect me, man. Call me Mike. Call me Mike on the air, man. Like, I can't believe you did that. Like, after the first look, you heard me last week before. I'm in the gym. Mike, baby, Mike.
Right? But I ain't hear you saying, So I thought that you was taking a day off. You was on vacation or something.
That's because I'm not on the hand machine today. I'm doing my sit-ups. I'm taking body blows. I'm warming up for them body blows, baby.
That's what's up. So normally, we start off with a little check-in, a little touch base of, what's going on in all of our lives. But I thought we'd do something a little different today. So I got off work yesterday. I came home. I was exhausted. At my job, we had 45 new coaches come in through our coaching program. And so I got home. I was telling Ikea, I was thinking like, yo, I'm so tired, man. I don't even know what's going on right now. I don't even know what day of the week it is. And Nakia checked me. She said, EJ, this is what you asked for. This is what you prayed for. You said you wanted a job with benefits, full-time, weekends off, salary. You wanted to grow. You wanted to learn. You wanted to do a whole bunch of different things. And, honestly, that was nothing I can even say. I had to respect where she was coming from and start looking at things from a different perspective. So I kind of wanted to get you all's feedback. I know that we all work 2 and 3 jobs, and it's not because we have to. It's because, we want to. We're driven. We're a driven group of individuals. Dave kind of alluded to this last week. We don't really hang around people who don't really live up to the standard of living that we're used to. And it's not because we look down on them. It's just, that's what we used to. You associate yourself with people who kind of think like you and kind of want to get to some of the goals and achieve some of the things that you're trying to do. And so, I just want to get you all's perspective on that.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So check it. So for me, I think that it's kind of like when men or females as well, when they get in a relationship, it's kind of like the grass isn't green on the other side type of thing. So when you asking for like that full-time benefits, the job, salary and all that, it sounds good, but it's a lot of work that comes with that salary. And for me, I know when I was young, I didn't realize that salary meant. Yeah, you not recording?
Nah, we were.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm just laughing at Dave, man.
Go ahead, bro.
We're out here trying to like clean up and tidy up and stuff.
Man, OCD kicked in, bro.
He turned into you for a little bit, Vince. He had some crumbs from his burger, and he like sweeping them up. But we ain't mean to cut you off, man. Go ahead.
Vince?
Yo.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, check it. Oh, so we good?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna just cut me off like that? Like we not on the air. Like we on the air, man, and y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Like,
my fault, bro. My fault. That was unprofessional. That's on me. That's on me.
Yeah, man, get my two when I get a chance. Yeah, but I think that it's a lot to it, man. Like especially with salary. There's a lot of quote unquote unpaid hours that goes with that. And sometimes you can put your foot in your mouth asking for more than you can handle. But it looks good. You like when the boss is riding up in his car, but we don't really know what they have to deal with. I'm pretty sure Dave can speak more on that, especially from his past jobs. He can speak more on what it entails and if you're complaining or you have a fair say so.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's very easy to ask for something and then come to regret it later. Specifically, for me, it's two ways. Two areas, I guess, that pops up more than others, and that's in your career and also in relationships. Because a lot of times, you kind of touched on this, Vince, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. But for me, if anybody that knows me well, there's one relationship where it kind of ended because basically what EJ described happened to me. And kind of basically the old 80-20 rule, and I think that's right. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
And so, It's tough, man. It's tough when those situations happen, in relationships. When those situations happen, at work, and like y'all was saying, man. Everybody wants the glitz and glamour of having a really good job, and you can't wait to see, to tell people what your title is, and show them your business card, and pull up in whatever we choose to pull up in. But we also, you working at 45 to 50 hour week minimum. I mean, that's for a lot of people, that's a good week, but that's a minimum. And then you bring work home with you. You tired when you get off. All of that. So it's a lot that goes into it. But it's a give and take. It's a sacrifice. So when it comes to careers, me myself personally, I'm willing to suck it up because I think that's gonna serve me well in the future. But relationships for me, it's a little bit harder, specifically because I've gotten burned on the 80-20 rule, and so I just think that you got to really be cautious and think about your next moves when you're gonna do things like that. So just take everything into account.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
For some of y'all that don't know, man, Dave just got off working 2 jobs. Bro just walked in the house with a burger from Burger King, some fries, and a drink. And I said, bro, you got to hurry up, man. We got to get this podcast going.
Hey, shout out to Burger King for that Bacon King burger, though. That was legit. I really try not to eat too much fast food, but that Bacon King burger is legit, though. If y'all ain't tried it, bro.
Hey, Burger King, I know we just starting out, but, at some point, y'all going to have to pay us for that.
Right.
That one is free, but at some point, y'all going to have to pay us for that. But no, I wanted to touch on 2 things that Dave said, or maybe one thing, but another thing that I kind of want to clarify for anybody. So when we get on the podcast, I don't tell the boys what we about to talk about. They have no idea. They come into this thing blind as mice, and so. And the reasoning for doing that is because we want that to be real. We want it to be authentic. We want it to be off the top of the dome. And so I just want to let you all know whatever you all are getting is their fresh their fresh thoughts. It's not pre-recorded. It's not pre-scripted or anything like that. And then to Dave's point about and Vince kind of alluded to this earlier too about wanting it and not really knowing what it entails. I think that we do that with a lot of things. Whether, like you said, whether it be careers, whether it be relationships, whether it be, I'm using my air quotes, whether it be, keeping up with the Joneses and wanting what the next man has. Like, you really don't know what the struggle was or what they had to do to get to where they had to get there. And so I know for all the people in my circle, we came from some decent, well-to-do type backgrounds, but that still doesn't mean that, we were just afforded that corner office and nepotism and things like that. Like, we really had to work hard to get to where we got, and we still growing. There's still more that we're gonna do. This is not the end. And if you think about it, we're really just getting into our prime. Like I talked about last week, I got retained with my company, and I'm starting off in an entry-level position, but my role this last couple of days has been phenomenal. People have been ranting and raving all about the things that I've accomplished in the short amount of time that I've been there. And so I think that just speaks to the drive and the determination of our group. So I just wanted to put that out there.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Like it's not like when you're excelling in the workplace, man. It's really fulfilling, especially when you have a job that you really want to be in,
Right.
a job that challenges you and kind of it helps you get better. So I think that's the ultimate goal. At least I know I can only speak for my circle. Really, is just to put ourselves in a position to continue to get better. That's relationship. That's work, or not really work, but career.
Life.
All the decisions you make, you're just trying to get better. So, again, like EJ said, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm low energy, bro. I literally just got off like a 14-hour day. So, just give me a minute and I'll be back. Either way, I'm still beating Vince, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. All right. Okay.
But for real though, seriously, man, I think that the majority of people that our listeners, whatever, I think y'all can understand what we're saying, and that you know, you've been in that situation where everything looks good on the outside, but then you get there, you like, man, that's not exactly what I thought it was, or it's, um, you know, I feel kind of deceived or whatever. I know I felt like that in some of my past jobs where I was promised things and then they never came true, but I was still expected to hold up my end. And these were jobs that, like EJ was saying, I prayed for, I had really worked for, and I thought at the time it was almost like a you know, for my options. It wasn't necessarily my dream job, but for the options I had, it was. You know, so you just gotta try to be smart and keep realistic expectations because nothing is perfect. So
Yeah.
if you keep that in mind, you keep a good perspective, you'll be straight.
Yep.
Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. So Dave said something earlier, and again, I don't let the boys know what we about to talk about when we get on here. But I got like a list of topics as I'm going throughout my day. I'm writing down stuff, jotting down stuff. Even in the middle of the night, I might wake up and I got an idea like, oh my goodness, that'll be great for the podcast. Let me just jot this down on my iPhone or whatnot. And so Dave said something earlier about the 80-20 rule and what that looks like. And for a lot of you who may know about it or may not know about it, it's when you in a relationship and you getting that 80% from your significant other, but you missing that last 20% and you think that you can go find that somewhere else and end up losing something that you didn't realize what you had, something that was really good. And so, I run some of the ideas past Nakia. That's just, we in the same house. It's hard not to talk about the podcast because this is something that I'm passionate about and something that I really want to grow. But today I ran this ideal past her. And so I want to preface this with saying that, I'm not trying to break up any happy homes or anything like that. And so that's why I ran it by her to make sure that she thought it would be okay to kind of present on the podcast. But the question is, who is the one person in a relationship, and by relationship I mean like boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, who has got away? And again, we won't talk about names and things like that, but because we want to definitely keep those people private. We don't want people stalking them and doing all of that. But I definitely want to kind of spend some time today on the podcast, kind of talking about that. And one, kind of what happened and blah around that relationship, and then two, how have you kind of like matured and grown from that relationship and made yourself available or a better person for Event's case, who he married to now, in my case, who I'm dating, and in your case, who you talking to or doing whatever you got going on. And so, anybody can hop in. I can go first, or it don't matter. But that's kind of where I'm at tonight.
Hey Vince, let me grab this one real quick. I'm gonna be quick though.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna try to be extremely vague because if you know me, you know this person. There was a young lady I was dealing with for a long time, like a long time, considering how old I am. I'm 27. She and I were talking for over 5 years. So that's really the majority of my adult life. All right. And, at the time, I kind of felt like I was being smothered to a degree. I kind of felt like I was being treated like I was a possession, meaning she wanted to. I felt like, and this may not have even been accurate, like whenever she wanted to do something, I had to get up and do it right then, like literally, like picking me up, like I could be like a purse or something, like, hey, I want to go here, I'm gonna pick you up, we going right now, you know what I'm saying? Like I just kind of felt like, I just kind of didn't feel, like I was treated the way that I saw it in my peers around me, their relationships. I was like, man, bro don't have to check in. When he trying to leave the house, go to the store, you don't gotta be like, you about to go to the store, just go. I'm like, man, what's going on? After so much of seeing, like, people have freedom. They not in jail when they're in relationships. You know what I'm saying? That, not saying I was in jail, but that's how I felt at the time. Mind you, when this was all going down, I'm 18, 19, 20 years old. So my perception is different now. And I think, to answer EJ's point, though, since then I've talked to I've kind of dealt with, neither one of them been my girlfriend, but I dealt with two other young ladies. one of the last situation that actually just ended yesterday. So I'm really like newly don't deal with nobody.
They silly, man.
You know,
I'm
what I
like
mean?
newly, don't deal with nobody.
Like I'm fresh out of a situation, you know what I mean? But I think that those two situations were critical because they showed me, that some of the good things I was looking for in this young lady that got away, and like some of the qualities that she had that I didn't appreciate and I should have, and kind of, I have a very clear picture now about what I want in a woman, and I refuse to waste anybody's time, and I'm not gonna have another girlfriend unless I can be serious about her. That's just where I'm at with it. I can have fun. I'm still young. We can have a good time. We can kick it, whatever. But I'm not gonna be serious about anybody unless I can see it going somewhere. 'Cause that's just kind of,
Yeah.
all my boys have, they're blessed to have kids, and I want I would love for my child to be able to grow up with theirs. So there's goals that I have. Obviously, I want to start a family and things like that. So there's goals that I have, but I want to make sure it's with the right young lady. For me, that's kind of it, man. There's definitely one that got away. And from my description, I'm pretty sure 90% of the people that know me in any capacity know who I'm talking about. I'm not doing this for this to get back to her or whatever. I'm just trying to answer the question as honestly as I can. From what I understand, she's happily in a new relationship, and I'm fully supportive of that because I had my chance, whatever. So I'm fully supportive of that. But I'm just trying to answer the question as best I can. That situation's tough. It literally took me like 2.5 years to completely get over it. Where like I didn't be like, man, I just need to try to get back with her. You know what I'm saying? And it just was tough. But now I know what to look for in the next woman because ultimately I don't think that. Obviously, she's happy with somebody else. I don't think I was right for her, and she probably wasn't right for me. But that was the best relationship I had known. So it's kind of difficult to duplicate that, if that makes sense. So now you just about when you get my age, now you just not really about playing no more. You just kind of you want to get with somebody, and you want to get serious about somebody. I had my fun, and I'm ready to kind of mature into a full grown up relationship.
Yeah, I think that's good, man. So
Yeah.
I want to go, Vince. So for me, my situation was a little different, and I guess some people may say it don't count, maybe it do count. I don't know. But when I was 16, back in high school, I had this girl who I was dating. And Vince will tell you, anybody who knew me at the time will tell you, my nose was towed wide open, as old folks say, man. This girl couldn't do no wrong in my eyes. And so, I was with this young lady, probably, let's see, maybe 4 years off and on. And so, we had our ups and downs. The relationship was a little weird due to some parentals. But for me, much like Dave, that was probably the first real relationship I had. Now, granted, it wasn't, in my late teens, early 20s. Well, I guess it was probably. We started at 16, so yeah, probably until I was 20. But anywho, that relationship was what I thought was a really good relationship, even with all of the pressures and the hiding and sneaking and doing all of that. But in my situation, it wasn't. I guess it was the grass was greener on the other side, but I took advantage, or what I thought to be taking advantage of that grass on the other side, and actually got another girl pregnant in the process. And so, I still remember the day that I found out that the mother of my child was pregnant with Reagan, and the conversation I had to have with that young lady and how tough it was. It was probably a lot tougher to have that conversation with her than it was to even tell my own parents that I was having that I had a baby on the way. And so I think back to that day, and I remember the young lady saying that, EJ, we could work this out. But in my mind, because you know, me and Vince and Dave we're all fortunate to have a or come from a two-parent home. I thought the best thing to do was to try to make things work with the mother of my child. And so, not really thinking of the repercussions and what would happen to that young lady, I kind of just ended it there. And so, you know, it took me, let's see, that was my freshman year of college or my sophomore year of college. And so it took me a great deal of time, much like Dave, to kind of get over this girl. Like it was even so bad. I used to text her every year on her birthday, probably until 2011 or 2012, and it was just rough, you know, because I always had this, because you know me and the mother of my child didn't work out, so I always had this hope, kind of like what Dave's saying, you know, I just need to get back with her then, you know,
Yeah.
you know, like
At least try. See
yeah,
what's up.
at least try. And then I lie to you not. Me and my nephew. This is my last thing, so I'm gonna let you go. Me and my nephew. We were in New Bern, and we saw her, and it was crazy because how excited she was to see me. But then once I got to her, I mean, she was still excited, but it literally was just, I ain't seen you in a long time. What's going on? And that's it. It didn't go nowhere else after that. It wasn't like it wasn't like, yo, here's my new number. Call me when you get a chance. Text me when you come back to New Bern. It was none of that. Shorty was really like, hey, it's nice to see you. How's the family? How are things? And that was it. And so at that point, at that time, I realized, I guess, you know, my chance is gone. And so, you know, it took a while to be okay with that. But like Dave said, I think it made me a better person. All the relationships after that, I had a serious relationship with another young lady after that, and now I'm in a serious relationship with Nakia. And if it hadn't been for that relationship and the things that I learned, I don't know if I would have be able to appreciate Nakia the way that I do.
Hmm. Yeah, I see you. I see where you're hitting at, man. That's kind of like mine. So for me, I had this young lady that I was dealing with for sometime year and a half, 2 years, and for me, I thought, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, yo, shoot, this the lick right here, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know how you get that chick, and you like, dang, the boy's telling you you different, and you don't do the things you used to, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, man, yo, this the lick right here. I'm straight, man. It's kind of different, but you know, I'm getting used to it, and I'm quote unquote, I'm happy. So, um, then you know, I messed around and started thinking I was cool. I started going back to my high school days a little bit. Started smelling myself, man, and little chicks was, you know, kind of digging me one day. We end up having relations, and so that kind of threw the wrench in that relationship, and that's just how that went. And after that though, I was like, yo, I can't believe I let this old bucket head chick on the side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the chick was cool and all, but like when I really like analyzed the whole situation, you know what I'm saying? Like that was so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and after I got through, you know, I was like, man, yo, I gotta get her back, man. Like, like I gotta have what we had. You know what I'm saying? Cause I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty dope, and I was like, man, I gotta have that, gotta have that. And yeah, man, it was gone. It was gone. Simple as that.
And the whole time, man, like I think we all kind of feel where each other coming from, but uh, I ain't gonna lie. A piece of me respect the fact that the girl respect herself enough to not allow me to get back. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, I think we all think we pretty cool. Y'all can feel, you know, those listeners out there can feel how y'all want to feel. Y'all can be like, bro, you lame, whatever.
Yeah.
Any dude that got any type of confidence think he can get girls. Just if y'all didn't know that already.
Yeah.
But you know, I I kind of can respect when the girl be like, you know what, man, I'm good, and you know, I wish you well, but I'm gonna go out here and do my thing. You had your chance because that means
Yeah.
she valued herself, she respect herself or whatever. Like,
Right.
cause I don't know, I mean, it's tough. Like when you in that moment, it piss you off or whatever. But at the fact, I can't respect that to some. I could respect that she was, you know, she at some point she just was like, man, I ain't gonna keep falling for, you know, I can't keep doing this with bruh, you know, cause a lot of no offense, ladies, a lot of y'all do that forever, and then y'all talk about it on Facebook, and I don't care. Keep scrolling. Y'all talk about it on Instagram, I still don't care. Keep scrolling. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind
And
of
be right back with her.
Yeah,
yeah. All dudes ain't nothing. Yeah,
Keep scrolling.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
It's funny that you bring that up. I used to tell, you know, me and Dave had a lot of lady friends in college, and by lady friends I mean just ladies of the opposite. I mean friends of the opposite sex. You know that it was just strictly platonic. But we used to tell them that like dudes only do what you allowed them to do. So if you're gonna keep getting back with dude after he cheat on you, or you know, he step out on you or do whatever, you know, he gonna keep doing that because he know he can get away with it.
right.
And so, you know, I think that was an important piece that Dave just brought up. You know, respect to all the women who say, I had enough. I'm packing my joint, packing my stuff. I'm getting up out of here. And, you know, you go on to be with old shorty.
Yeah.
Because I tell Nakia all the time, if Beyonce throw me any type of signal, I'm gone. But in my mind, I'm thinking that Beyonce just gonna be bad. I ain't gonna really want for nothing. But if any girl is not on the Beyonce level, then Nakia got job security, if you will. She got job security. I ain't really going nowhere, man. So.
See, but me, I honestly, like, it's weird. Y'all might think it's weird, but I honestly believe in that 20%. Like even though it's 20%, I believe very highly in that 20. It's like that 20 is the 20 is the crown of the crown in Sprite. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that 20 is the crown in Sprite, and you know what I'm saying, is the crown, and the 80% is just the Sprite and the ice. Like,
See,
like for real, like on it. That's like, cause that 20, like this how I see it. If I'm with a chick, right, and I'm her little side piece, and she thinking that the grass is greener, so she trying me out. And if I'm I'm opening her door, and I'm texting her good morning, good night, etc., whatever you may call it. If I'm doing it, this is how I see. If I'm doing it, I can keep doing it if things play out right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, like, of course, everybody knows in the beginning, first 3, 6 months, even a year, it's gonna be slightly different. Everybody gonna be doing the stuff to quote unquote win you over. But I think that if you're doing it for that period of time, I think that if he or she is really digging you, they can continue to do that, and y'all can have something. That's just how I think. Maybe I'm weird, but y'all can take it however you want to take it.
Nah, I think you're right on. I mean, you do things like that for people you really care about. I think you're right on, but that's real.
Yeah. But for me, when I think about that 20%, like some things that are important to me. You know, you got to get along with my friends. You gotta, not gotta, but it's nice. It's a nice to have if you can cook and clean and kind of provide for yourself. Yes, I'm gonna take care of you and provide for you. But it's nice if you got some goals and you doing your own thing. And if the 20% is just she look nice and she got a fat butt, then to me, I'm gonna stick with my 80 because.
But if that 20% is, all right, let me see if I can ride. If that 20% is, she cool with the boys, like she cool with it's like the boys excited when she come around,
Right.
And what's another major one for you? Another major. If her two things make up 10%, and her two main ones are A's in your book, that's not a heavy 20%. That 20% could carry a lot of weight.
Right. Okay. So check this out. I got you, Dave. I'm gonna help you, Dave. I'm gonna help Dave out. So a part of that 20 was that she was cool with the boys, like have a great time, and then the other part was the chick you was with didn't give you oral. You know what I'm saying? But she would. You know what I'm saying? Now tell me, you ain't like, you know what? I gotta swerve.
I don't know if I don't know if I would swerve necessarily. I mean, I probably keep her on the back burner for a little bit, cause you know, as y'all said, she cool with the homies, and then after we hang with the homies, I get a little treat, but you know, I can't break up my happy home for that.
I mean, all right, check this out then. So we talking about goal. You said aspirations, right?
Yeah.
All right. Her 20% is she's not just the boys. She cool with your parents and the boys. Like people like her when she come around. She got a good presence about her.
Oh man.
All right. And then also she's driven in her career. Now she may not be cooking clean and gonna wash your clothes and fold them for you, but I'm talking about she driven. Like you can see it all over her. She going somewhere. That's her 20%.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a heavy 20%.
Hey.
Now
That 20% they're turning about 60%.
I just think it's the makeup. If somebody else checking off a lot of boxes, but those boxes they not worth the same amount of points as these other boxes, then I mean you can get 80% by checking off. You look good. You drive your own car. You have some money every once in a while.
Yeah.
You'll take care of me when I'm low. You can check. I mean, some of those not all worth the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Your 20% could get made up differently, and I think that sometimes, and it sounds stupid, but sometimes that 20% at least make you think about that. You know, maybe she's straight over here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's straight. And that's honestly, it's the even thinking about it. That's work that gets you in trouble right there. That's what gets you in trouble, man. Because you try to, you know, as for me, I'm gonna only speak for me. I ain't gonna throw other guys under the bus. But you try to explore as much as you can without getting in trouble when you're 80.
Yeah.
You know, you try to see let me see what's up before I dive all the way in. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll be hot.
Yeah. That's real. Well, look, we about to get up out of here. You know, drop down in the comments what y'all think that 20% is worth. We love to hear from y'all. You know, don't get in trouble with your significant others messing around with that 20% though. But yeah, man, we're gonna get on out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
All right, dog. Peace.
All right, y'all.